Hey guys, this is John. You have a special treat today. This is Terry Laxton. Terry's written a book which I recently read, and I was captivated by the topic, and I was captivated by the way he wrote this particular book. And so he's going to share with us some of his insights on using some very special investment opportunity here. I'm going to let him explain it on how you might be able to preserve your wealth and avoid some taxes, and I think I'll let Terry just chat about that. Terry, thanks for joining us today.
Well, thank you for having me, John.
Appreciate that.
Appreciate this too.
Let's begin with a little overview of the product that you use for investment purposes for your clients.
Well, what I use is something that is extremely little known, and that is a unique twist on a unique piece of life insurance. And when I say that, everybody thinks of life insurance as a death benefit. I think of it as a life benefit. And the reason it's a life benefit is if you have the right product, and that's a huge key, it will in fact outperform the S&P 500 on a cash-on-cash basis, and it will do it tax-free.
That's amazing.
And I have studied every financial planner's information I can find, and nothing can compete with it. On a cash-on-cash basis, forget the fact that it's life insurance. And on top of that, it does it tax-free. The ideal client is anybody that is saving $800, $900 a month or more. That's the ideal client, and the earlier they start, the better. What I find, though, is the majority of people either don't or can't think about it until they get into their 50s and 60s.
Right.
And then they start to realize they really are going to have to take care of themselves, and there's only so much time left. And so those are kind of the mainstay of my clients, people that come to me and I'd say in their early 50s up through their mid to late 60s. And the other thing that I have that is a very unknown concept is for people that are usually over 59 and a half because of the tax structure. I can show them how, if they have $500,000 or more, there's a threshold there, in a qualified plan, how to roll it out without any tax consequences and get it growing tax-free from here on, which is starting to take off with almost everybody I show it to that has that amount of money. When people come to me, I'm finding their first issue is just, can I preserve my capital? Can I keep what I've got? The product I advocate has zero loss by contractual guarantee. So you're never going to lose money in a market meltdown, which is the first thing that attracts them when they discover this concept. And the second thing is it will compound and be accessible completely tax-free. It's the only option that is totally tax-free in retirement.
I am wondering why people don't know more about this, why other investment strategists don't provide this kind of guidance to their clients.
There's a huge industry built up around IRAs or 401ks. All of those firms became large simultaneously with the introduction of IRAs and 401ks. That side of the coin has a vested interest in maintaining the status quo. They make a lot of money off IRAs and 401ks. The second factor is the American public is unaware of the manipulation that can be played with math. So they see an average, let's say that the S&P's averaged 8 or 9% for the last 20 years, and they think that's what they're earning, when in fact statistics show they earn a third of what the S&P does for multiple reasons. And secondly, everybody seems to be comfortable with the status quo. Even though it may not be working for them, they're comfortable with it. So they don't get out, and one of my pet peeves, to be real honest with you, you said the book is easy to read, and I have people that will get it and they'll not read it, but they'll spend 20 hours planning their vacation this year, but they don't have 6 or 7 hours to plan their retirement.
So now Terry has referenced the book. He's an accomplished author, and he wrote a book called The Better Money Method, which I have read. It's delightful for a topic of this nature. Tell us a little bit about this book, Terry. How did this come about?
Well, it came about because there's a ton of books on this subject, and that's where I discovered the subject, that are written in what I call geek speak.
Okay.
And most people won't read those, including most financial planners. And after years of watching new books come out and so forth, I finally decided there was a need to do two things. One, explain this to the general public, and two, do it in a way they could understand. So I went about writing the book in a story form rather than what I call geek speak, which I think makes it much easier for people to follow and get the information.
This book is worth reading. It'll enlighten you. It'll probably intrigue you enough, and certainly the information that Terry's provided to us today is enough intriguement that you probably want to follow up on it. I thank you for your time, Terry.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.